Welcome to Celebrity Scoop, where we delve into the fascinating world of fame and fortune. Our mission? To shed light on the truth behind the headlines, to separate fact from fiction, and to uncover the hidden stories that the world needs to hear. Today, we're going to take you on a journey that will reveal a surprising twist in the narrative surrounding one of the most talked about figures in recent years. She's a woman who's been at the centre of countless headlines, who's faced relentless scrutiny, and who's become a flashpoint in the global conversation. Yes, we're talking about none other than Meghan Markle. For years, Meghan has been on the receiving end of a relentless hate campaign. Smears, lies, and an orchestrated effort to discredit her at every turn. But what if we told you that we're about to reveal something that might just change the way you see this whole saga? What if we told you that one of the key figures behind this hate campaign has just been caught out in a way they never expected? Neil Gardiner, former advisor to Margaret Thatcher, a senior member of the far-right Heritage Foundation, and one of the most vocal critics of Prince Harry, just made the ultimate mistake. He forgot to switch his burner account. Yes, you heard that right. The very man who has spent years attacking Harry and Meghan, who has used his political influence to fuel smear campaigns, has inadvertently revealed his secret online persona. This is about more than just one man's hypocrisy. It's a revelation that shines a light on the deeply interconnected web of Meghan haters, MAGA extremists and Brexiters. A revelation that shows just how close the overlap between these groups really is. So stay tuned as we unravel the mystery behind one of Meghan Markle's most vocal critics. Because trust us, you won't want to miss what we've got to reveal. In the world of social media, a single slip can reveal a multitude of secrets. In the case of Neil Gardiner, former advisor to Margaret Thatcher and a senior member of the far-right Heritage Foundation, it was a slip that unveiled a secret he'd been harbouring for years. Picture this. A man who has been a vocal critic of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, using his influence to fuel smear campaigns against them. Now, imagine the shock when it's discovered that the same man has been running a pro-MAGA, anti-Meghan Sussex hate account. Yes, you heard right. The secret was out, thanks to a simple mistake of not switching his burner account. This revelation sent shockwaves across the internet. It was like peeling back the curtain on a dark theatre, letting in a burst of unexpected light. Suddenly, the silhouette of a man, once thought to be a staunch defender of British values, is seen in a whole new light. Here he was, not just a critic, but an active participant in a hate campaign against Meghan. This is the reality we're dealing with. A reality where the very people who claim to uphold British values are the same ones fueling the fires of hate. But let's not kid ourselves here. This isn't just about one man's hypocrisy, far from it. What we're dealing with here is an entire network of Meghan haters. A network of people who seem to have a singular goal in mind, discrediting Meghan at every turn. Their tactics may vary, but their intent remains the same. And at the heart of this network, we find individuals like Neil Gardiner. Individuals who hide behind the disguise of respectability while stoking the flames of hate from the shadows. So, the next time you come across a hate-filled post or a smear campaign against Meghan, remember this. There's more to it than meets the eye. It's not just a man's hypocrisy we're dealing with, but an entire network of Meghan haters. It's often said that birds of a feather flock together. But what happens when those birds have a common target? Let's take a moment to connect the dots. The same individuals who are fervent supporters of Trump, the same ones who eagerly championed Brexit, are, curiously enough, the same people who have an intense dislike for Meghan Markle. Is this just a coincidence, or is there a pattern here? Consider for a moment the Trump supporters, well known for their far-right ideologies. Many of these individuals have been found to be critical of Meghan, a woman who is unapologetically outspoken and fervently advocates for equality and justice. Meghan's progressive views and her refusal to be silenced clearly rub these individuals the wrong way. Then, let's take a look at the Brexit enthusiasts. These are people who have demonstrated a love for what they call British values, and an aversion to anything that threatens these so-called values. And who better to target than Meghan, a woman of colour, an American, and someone who has dared to question the status quo of the British monarchy? And finally, the Meghan haters. Their reasons for disliking Meghan are varied and often baseless. Some criticise her for being too outspoken, others for being too American, and yet others for simply not fitting their narrow definition of what a royal should be. The common thread running through all these groups, a resistance to change, a fear of the unfamiliar, and a deep-seated bias against anyone who challenges their worldview. That's right. The hatred towards Meghan isn't just about Meghan. It's a reflection of larger societal issues: racism, xenophobia, and sexism. It's a symptom of a society that's struggling to come to terms with change and diversity. So when we talk about the hate directed towards Meghan, let's not forget the bigger picture. It's not just about a dislike for a single individual. It's about a system that allows such hate to flourish. The hate directed towards Meghan isn't just personal, it's political. We're not just dealing with a hate campaign against one woman. This is a coordinated attack. It's a strategic operation that has been carefully planned and executed. It's not about Meghan Markle, the person. It's about what she represents. A woman of colour, outspoken, independent, and challenging the status quo. She's become a symbol, a target for those who fear change and progress. This is not just about racism, though that is a significant and undeniable factor. It's also about misogyny, intolerance, and the fear of losing power. It's about a far-right ideology that is threatened by diversity, equality, and social justice. It's about people who cling to outdated notions of privilege and hierarchy, who resist the idea that a woman, and particularly a woman of colour, can be both royal and revolutionary. This hate campaign isn't a random act of internet trolling. It's a politically motivated attack, a weapon designed to discredit, to marginalise, to silence. It's a tactic used by those who feel threatened by Meghan's influence, by her ability to challenge the status quo, to inspire change. And let's not forget the role of the media in all of this. The relentless negative coverage, the constant scrutiny, the double standards, all of these are part of the same operation. They're all tools used to perpetuate the hate, to amplify the voices of the critics, to drown out the voices of support. This is a battle that's being fought on multiple fronts, in the headlines, on social media, behind closed doors. It's a battle that's about much more than one woman. It's about the kind of society we want to live in, the kind of values we want to uphold, the kind of future we want to build. The Meghan hate machine isn't just organic, it's a well-oiled political operation. It's a machine that's been built to divide, to conquer, to maintain the status quo. But it's also a machine that can be dismantled, that can be defeated, if we're willing to stand up, to speak out, to fight back. Neil Gardiner was caught red-handed, but he's not the only one. We've unravelled the thread of a deeply intertwined web, a web that not only spins tales of hatred and deception, but also fuels it with a relentless zeal. The revelation of Gardiner's secret burner account, spewing vitriol against Meghan Markle, has opened the floodgates to a sea of speculation. One can't help but wonder, are there others? Other so-called royal experts, political analysts, even trusted journalists, who hide behind the mask of neutrality only to spew venom from the shadows. Are they too, in the dark corners of the internet, perpetuating this cycle of hate and prejudice, all under the guise of anonymity? Consider the landscape, the constant barrage of negative press surrounding Meghan and Prince Harry, the relentless attacks, the unfounded rumours, and the unabashed bias. Doesn't it seem a bit too orchestrated, a bit too convenient? Could it be possible that there exists an army of hidden Gardiners, each operating from their clandestine corners, fueling this hate machine with a common, insidious agenda? But let's not forget, every secret has a way of surfacing. Every lie has an expiration date. Gardiner's blunder has shown us that. It's only a matter of time before the others, if they exist, are exposed in the glaring spotlight of truth. In this digital age, anonymity is a delusion. Behind every tweet, every post, every comment, there's a trail that leads back to the source, to the person holding the burner phone, to the person typing away at the keyboard, cloaked in a false sense of invisibility. So let's keep our eyes open, stay vigilant, and question everything, because it's not just about exposing the hate, it's about dismantling the machinery that fuels it. The question remains, who's next? As we peel back the layers of deceit, we inch closer to the truth. But until then, we can only speculate, observe, and await the inevitable revelation. After all, as the saying goes, the truth shall set you free.